Welcome to the Level Up Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, John, followed by my analyst for today. We got Wes, we got James, we got Amon. Ready to get into some NFL football talk for the NFL draft. Also, we'll do some quick hits on the basketball playoffs. Had an exciting game this afternoon. We'll get into that in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to get into this NFL draft talk. And question number one for this evening is, who was your favorite pick in the first round? What team did they go to? We'll start off with James, followed by Amon and Wes.
All right, so you know what? I'm not gonna go with my favorite pick, but I'm gonna really probably say my team's favorite pick. Because I'm kind of, you know what? Nah, let me take that back. I'll go ahead and go with the easy one and say, Titans picking up Cam Ward was big. Reason I say that, man, is because it seemed like a lot of the quarterbacks kind of went later. All the expected quarterback that we thought was gonna go high went later. And of course, Cam ended up getting picked number one, so he's the only top quarterback that we looked at from our perspective to make it top five. So I'll go ahead and say that because Titans, they do need a quarterback, and I think stepping in and staying strong and but just go with your gut feeling, what you believe. And this guy's, I think he's a pretty solid quarterback, so I think that was a good pick for them. But I still like my Jets number one pick because we got to work on our line. so, but
Okay,
go ahead.
I got you. I got you. What do you say, Amon? What was your favorite pick in the NFL draft? At least for the first round.
For the first round, I'm,
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
gonna be a homer. I'm not gonna do a homer pick and say my squad, but I'm gonna say Travis Hunter because
Okay.
with Jacksonville you have two, you get two for one, and so Trevor Lawrence has a receiver who can catch now, and just in case, hey, you need to throw him on special teams or throw him on the defense side, he can do that because Brian Thomas Jr. I believe was the number one receiver for them last year, I believe,
Yeah,
and they
he was a rookie.
struggled.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they pretty much struggled last year as far as like, well, I know because he was hurt too. Trevor Lawrence was hurt, but he's a big time threat now, weapon. The kids say want to play both sides. I say go, why not? So I think that's the best one. I think I like him that better than Cleveland personally. That's just my personal opinion. I think when Cleveland traded, I was actually happy for him because he has family in Georgia. I think his father stays in Florida, and he's like right there in between both of that. So he'll have a good support system for him. Just in case that girlfriend of his wanna, I'm being funny now. Yeah, pocket. But I think it's a good pick though. I think Jacksonville got the, to me, it's still a draft. Even though it was a really one to steal, but I think they got the best player for their squad.
Okay. Wes, who was your favorite pick, man?
Yeah, I was going to agree and say Hunter as well. I just like I'm interested to see what kind of packages and all they're going to put in and see also if he's going to do the whole offensive defense. Um, I was close to saying Ashton Genty, but I don't know if that O line's going to is enough of an upgrade for me for him to, you know, kind of really succeed with that. So just load up the box. But I do like the Travis Hunter pick. It's feast or famine with them going up to get him. So I'm excited to watch them play and see what they do.
Okay. All right. So my favorite pick, man, of the draft was with the Indianapolis Colts, selecting 14th, Tyler Warren, man, tight end. To me, man, I didn't know until they started showing all the highlights of what this guy
Mm-hmm.
did at Penn State. I remember seeing him in the, college football playoff and whatnot, but I didn't know that he was that dynamic. He's almost like, I mean, he's big as, or actually bigger. He's 6'6", 256, bigger than what Travis Kelce is. But as far as what they have him doing, the guy does wildcat. He'll do screens. He'll go from the slot position. He'll go from the wideout position. He's even did a little quarterback. Penn State. I think they made a like for real dynamic pick for them um, at that spot. And tight end is one of those positions where if you're if you have a safety that's not able to keep up,
Mm-hmm.
man, it's gonna be over. We're gonna find out very early. Granted, they don't have any issues at quarterback this season. That's the one thing. Who's gonna give them the ball? Anthony Richardson, or are they gonna be doing something else? We'll see that later. But as far as the pick itself, that was my favorite pick, man. I just thought this. I think this guy can be dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be Travis Kelce-esque and kind of similar to what we had from Brock Bowers
Mm-hmm.
last year with the Raiders. I think he's going to be very similar to that and may even do a little bit more. So
You know, you
don't
know,
go don't steal him from him in the fantasy football draft. But no, I'm just messing.
you know,
But
what's
but no.
funny? He had a prank phone call too. Tyler Warren, somebody from the Jets supposedly called him and said, "We're gonna pick you at number 7."
Oh
But
wow.
next year, yeah, yeah. So,
Oh
so
wow.
Shedeur went on. They got a prank call.
Mm-hmm.
Oh go okay. Gotcha, man. Yeah, it's yeah, it seems
Just
like a lot of people want to do prank calls these days. No. It did happen, and I know they probably be looking into more of that this
But
coming
I
week.
don't think it probably wasn't a prank call because remember, Jets, we picked up a tight end too. I think I don't know, was it our second or third pick? But we picked up a tight end, so maybe they was considering trying to get a good tight end early. So who knows?
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm looking for you guys right now. Actually, yeah, the Jets did pick up Mason Taylor out of LSU. So yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Jason Taylor's son, right?
yeah.
yes,
I think
yes,
that
yes.
was our second pick actually.
Uh,
That's what I'm saying. That was the
yeah.
second
Yes,
pick.
he was
So
the
yeah.
second pick. Yeah, they got him in the second round. They got Armand Mimbo from Missouri first, and then they got Mason Taylor.
Yeah, they probably changed their mind and said, "Hey,
Yeah,
you know what? Let's go with
they
this
were thinking
tackle
about it. So
first."
yeah, they were thinking
Yeah,
about him. Yeah, they
because
were
they
thinking
got a
about him.
tackle and they need to work on that line.
Yeah,
And
they knew that was the
yeah,
most glaring thing, regardless of who's playing quarterback. So they went offensive line, which I'm proud of the Jets for doing that.
exactly. Yeah.
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 All right, so we'll go ahead and go to our second question for this evening. And the question is, did you like or dislike your team's selections? I will go to Amand. This one starting off, Wes, and then James and I go last.
Personally, I mean, our selections were fine. Personally, they had I found it funny they wanted a quarterback, and they got the kid out of North Dakota State. Like with the last pick, they picked 2 quarterbacks. I think that name's Tommy Milton, I believe is his name. But I know, North Dakota State is a big FSC Division 2 school because Carson Wentz went there.
Yeah, his name is Tommy
And,
Malott.
Okay, Carson
Yeah,
Wentz
Tommy
went there.
Malott.
What Trey Lance went there. So they put NFL quarterbacks in the league who are pretty successful. Lance is still a jury out on him, but outside of that, and probably the third pick, I think it's the cornerback out of Iowa State named Darius.
Darian Porter.
Yeah, he was a receiver coming in, but then he converted to cornerback. But he's a big guy, 6'4", 200 pounds. So he's like the most interesting pick for the Raiders. I'm really curious to see about him because I mean we need our secondary is awful. It's been out for a while now, but other than that, I think they showed the line. They got running back seemingly of the future. I mean, he's getting guaranteed money. Like Gentry is now the second highest paid running back in the
Yeah.
NFL behind
Right.
Saquon. You know, he played one
And
down.
played down.
One so
Right.
for that kind of money,
Mm.
okay. But yeah, I like our picks though. I like our picks.
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
not upset.
Okay. Wes, what do you say? How did you like how the Atlanta Falcons selected for you?
Yeah, I liked them going. I know they went back to back edge, and we really need to emphasize defense and especially getting to the quarterback, getting some hurries and sacks and all that. I mean, we were pretty much dead last or close to it. So I'm excited. I like the pick. I thought it was going to be Jalen. I like how they went up and they got James uh, Pierce Jr. out of
Mm.
Tennessee. The
Yep.
safety Xavier Watts. I mean, that's a dog too. So I mean, I think they did a very good job. I'm hoping they get into it, and I am I'm ready to go. So I'm ready for the season to start. Their last pick, they went offensive tackle, Jack Nelson. So someone to help Penix out, hopefully. But it's young guys. So it's young guys that are, cheap, cheap young guys that can help them now. That's what I like about it.
Gotcha. So for mine, James, are you ready?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me go with James first, and then I'll give you my take on that.
So for me, yeah, Jets, I'm happy, man. I'm happy because we pretty much filled every box we was looking for. Only thing we didn't pick up was a defensive tackle,
Okay.
which we needed, but it's not dire for that. But we got our, a tight end. First, I was kind of questioning, do we really need a tight end? But we got Conquer. Conquer, well, he wasn't playing really like great or nothing like that. So maybe we're gonna, with a new quarterback, we might go to a different scheme and start using the tight end more. And then we're picking up a tight end at the high pick too, with our second pick. So that's why I feel like, it might be a good thing, So I'm like not really against it totally. I was like, well, pick up, another offensive line. I was hoping we'd pick up two offensive line men, but I'm good with that. I'm good with what we got. So we're looking forward to, the defense was already good. We slipped up last year. We picked up a cornerback. We picked up a safety, and then we added one piece early pick to the offensive line. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great.
Nice, nice. That's for me, man, I was elated. I was hoping and praying, and just because I know, I was looking at our offense for Green Bay, and I'm like, last year, and I spoke about it, several shows before, where we didn't have a go-to receiver, just somebody we could rely on, uh, that we had from the past. I mean, just saying, we've always had at least one go-to receiver, whether that was, I don't know, Greg Jennings at one time, Jordy Nelson, Devontae. Um,
Antonio Freeman.
Antonio Freeman, yeah. So I mean, the list goes on and on with at least having one go-to receiver that just separates himself. And so when I seen that the fact, I was like, wait, Tedero McMillan went first to Charlotte to the Carolina Panthers, and I'm like, okay. And then our spot was available, and I was like, wait, Matthew Golden is. Oh, I was like, man, please don't mess this up, Packers. Please don't mess this up. And then we actually picked him. I was like, and the guy was. It's something when you have a guy that's he was invited to the NFL draft
Mm-hmm.
and he's all dressed up and he's just sitting there waiting. It's almost like that Aaron Rodgers moment where he just been sitting there waiting. And
Oh
then when he
yeah.
heard his name called, he's like, you could just tell like he was not only relieved, but he was like, I'm gonna show every one of you that just passed on me. Y'all made a mistake. So he's that type, man. I can't wait to see him in his first game. Of course, I mean all the other selection we had Anthony Belton out of NC State, Savion Williams,
Mhm.
Varian Sorrell, Texas, edge rusher. We needed that. Linebacker Colin Oliver out of Oklahoma State, Warren Brinson, defensive tackle out of Georgia. So we definitely hit on places that we definitely needed. But the one thing I was very happy about is getting Matthew Golden out of Texas. So
Mhm.
I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. I'm really looking forward to seeing him, Romeo Dobbs, and just the rest of the Christian Watson. Once he gets healthy, just go out on the field and just dominate like we should, man. You
Mhm.
got Jordan Love, you got a quarterback that's getting better every year.
Mhm.
Hey, it's time, man. We've got Jordan Love paid. Use these rookie on that rookie scale for as much as we can until
Mm-hmm.
we got to start paying some of these guys. That's where I'm
Mhm.
looking at. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all picked up two wide receivers of the first three picks, and that's pretty good. You guys
yeah,
filled all the boxes of what y'all needed. So,
yeah. So and we
Yep.
got in the Savion Williams guy. He's actually 6'4", 222. So it's like, yeah, we got a guy that's gonna be down around the goal line. Hey,
Yeah.
throw it up. He
Big
can
boy.
go get it. So
Yeah. Green Bay did a good job. They had the most drops in the league, and they went out and they got those wide receivers. It's
yeah,
good.
we'll see if pays dividends in just a few months. It's not going to be that long. That's why I'm happy. NFL
Mhm.
season about to be coming back around in just a few months. All right, so going to question number three. And Wes, I'm going to start this one off with you. The question is, did it bother you that Shedeur Sanders fell into the fifth round in the draft? So I'll go with you first, and I'll go to James, and then I'll go to mine, and I'll go last.
I mean, it didn't really bother me. I mean, I know we talked about it, and we thought he was the most kind of polished, ready to go. And I think we all pretty much said if we had to take a QB tomorrow, it would be Sanders. But I mean, that's just part of it. People fall. I mean, Brady Quinn, others. Of course, we saw how Brady Quinn worked out. The scary thing to me is he's with the Browns, and there's
Yeah.
five QBs on that roster right now. Of course, I'm pretty sure they're going to cut ties with Watson and they just brought Flacco back for the year, and so I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they do, but I saw reports that went out there saying that Gabriel was their guy all along. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast. Sometimes I don't want to say it was collusion or something. I don't want to think that, but uh, yeah, it was just an unfortunate slide.
Yep. James, what do you say?
Well, I'm not surprised, and it don't bother me none either because I told someone the other day, I said, I think Shedeur, he might fall to the second round. And I was way off. He went to the fifth round, you know, because I mean, there's just so much talent out there. Everybody's not looking for a quarterback. There's so many great players that got to be picked up early. You know what I'm saying? With your defense, offense, what everybody's looking for, players got to be picked up. And then quarterbacks, I'm like, a lot of them were not totally completely impressive to me. So I wasn't kind of surprised to see a lot of QBs kind of went later. But I was surprised that he did go fifth round. It don't bother me, but I was surprised to see him go fifth round. But you know what though? A lot of people were bothered though. I see a lot of these posts on Facebook, social media, different places. A lot of people bothered, but I don't know why they're bothered. I mean, just because you have a dad who's a superstar, for Hall of Fame and stuff like that, let's take that out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You gotta look, as a team, what do you really need right now? And a lot of these quarterbacks dropping, but they probably just wasn't really impressed by it. And then two, it puts a sour taste in your mouth too when you start talking about what team you want your kid to play for, what team he shouldn't play. If you want him to go at a high draft pick, most likely he's going to go to a struggling team, and that's just a fact of the matter, you
Right.
know. And if he's not that, that type of player that is like hands down, like oh my God, this guy's great. God, you shouldn't be talking all that. Let your team be good. He went to the Browns. Was that one of the places where Dion wanted him to go? I mean, Browns are like a team that could win now if they really get it together. They need good quarterback play. Defense got to get better again. They could make a run for it. So he's probably happy. That he ended up on a at least a team who has potential to win.
All right. Amon, what do you say about it?
Uh, I'm gonna say from a different angle. This actually was a weak class to me for a quarterback wise. Shedeur probably should come out last year because if you really think about it, for the last 3 or 4 seasons, how many quarterbacks have been selected like young guys? You got Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence. The list goes on as far as like young quarterbacks that came out the last
Mhm.
couple of years. And last year was a real heavy quarterback draft. So really, most teams don't really need a quarterback. Really, not really. And even some teams that took quarterbacks a couple of years ago, like the Jets. But I'm not picking on the Jets. I'm saying the Jets. They had Zach Wilson. He's still a young guy himself.
Right.
So it's not like he was in the league. Marcus Mariota, a whole bunch of the guys are still like young. So in that aspect, he probably should come out last year. But I guess he wanted to go have a Heisman run. And another thing, I know a lot of reports came out about him being arrogant, being brash. What NFL players for real is not arrogant or brash? I mean, he probably on a different level. I mean, the man made like what $10 million last couple of years in that NIL money. So it's kind of like, okay, it's in his DNA to be brash. But a lot of these GMs, I mean, they ask these crazy questions. I remember a couple of years ago, Justin Blackman supposedly said exec allegedly asked him was his mother a prostitute and a drug addict. And then I remember the owner for asked Cam Newton, "Will you get tattoos?" He said, "No, sir." "Will you get your ears pierced?" He said, "No, sir." So it's kind of like they ask crazy questions. I'm not saying it's all on the player, but sometimes the GMs or execs ask just as crazy questions too. I'm not saying crazy questions, but questions that you think would be deemed out of line for a job.
Right. Right.
Also, the Browns, the coach and the GM were kind of like, hey, they picked him because he was there. It wasn't like they really wanted him. It was like, okay, well, he's there. He's the best player available. For
Mm-hmm.
let's pick him. Like, why not? It's kind of like, and they can
Yep.
cut ties with him. I mean, it's not guaranteed money. He's a fifth round player. So it's not like he's going to have a guaranteed deal. If anything, maybe practice squad money. Yeah, not practice squad money, but practice squad type
Yep.
situation. So really, like Wes said, they're gonna get rid of touch me, tease me. I can't think Deshaun West. I mean Deshaun.
Deshaun
Sean
Watson.
Watson, yeah.
Yeah, they'll get rid of him. It'll probably Flacco, and then maybe Shedeur maybe in the mid third string. I don't know yet, but I think from Dion's aspect, does he want him to be in Cleveland? No, because Cleveland pretty much where people's careers die. I hate to say, at least quarterback wise, you know. I think he want to go like New York. I think he was hoping to go to the Giants, to be honest with you. But am I shocked? Fifth round, yeah, I gave him after like the first day, at least third round. You know, at least maybe the very least third round. But so that's it for me.
I got you, man. So I felt like I didn't necessarily have an issue per se of who he went to and when he went to. Um, I pretty much looked at it when the Cleveland selected him. Especially at that point. I mean, it's fifth round. They know they need a quarterback. I mean, you look at the roster that they have currently. Before the draft picks were made, it was Deshaun Watson, who we know is dealing with a torn Achilles, correct? So you also
Which
have
one?
Kenny Pickett's on the roster,
Mm-hmm.
and you have Joe Flacco now. You selected uh Dylan Gabriel in the third round, and then you got a running back. Actually, you got two running backs. You got it was kind of wild. They got two running backs and they got two quarterbacks. So maybe,
Insurance.
and I was saying that to somebody. I said, well, maybe they wanted to stack. And it reminded me, you remember those guys that draft where you had RG3 and you had
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that turn out? I mean, one, he got injured, right? And
Yep.
they was able to play the other one. And he actually turned out to be pretty. I mean, let's not say he didn't win a Super Bowl, but Kirk Cousins had a pretty decent career. I mean, playing for them at that time. I mean, that's the same guy that was like, "You like that?" I'm just saying. So, and then to take him to go to Minnesota, I mean, he did pretty good with Minnesota before they got traded to Atlanta. And I know Atlanta last year was just definitely not how he wanted it to go. But nevertheless, I looked at it as that they they probably are looking at the fact that okay, we got two guys now that are rookies. We're gonna let them compete, and they were basically saying at the press conference, and the GM and Kevin Stefanski said nothing's gonna be given to you. You have to come in here and earn a spot. And I'm thinking in my mind, it's probably something that it might have turned out to be one of the best things for him that's going to make him even better than what he was before he got drafted. Because now he has to take humble pie. If I don't know if everybody got a chance to watch him during the press conference and him talking to news reporters, but he did kind of sound not. I'm not going to say he was cocky or arrogant, but it did sound a little bit more than confidence. So I don't know. Maybe it was something where it's saying, "Hey, take a little piece of humble pie, take it for what it is, go in, start fresh there. You're at a new place. Your dad's not there. Focus on football, and let's just see how it turns out." But I didn't have any issues with it. But I thought that they were. Um, it was almost like they were literally stacking just in case this one doesn't work out. I got this one already. So
Yeah.
it's like they were thinking down the line. So any other thoughts on that question?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I think they're stacking just because you got 40-year-olds,
Mhm.
and you got Deshaun Watson and,
Yep.
him being hurt and all. And then you got Pickett's situation in and out. And I think it's exactly what they're doing. I believe they're going to probably trade one and cut one pretty soon. And then you'll be left with Gabriel at the helm, and it's Shedeur's job if he wants it. He's going to have to compete, like you said. But if you would have told me that Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Show, Jalen Milrow, and Dylan Gabriel would have been the top five or five QBs off the board first, I'd have thought you were crazy. But that's how it happened.
Oh,
I,
one other thing. One other thing I will make mention of. A lot of people are not looking when GMs are looking at quarterback. Okay, one of the top two things they're looking for in quarterbacks is one, your decision making, and two is your accuracy. Yes, he checked the box on both of those. Now, what's the next thing that most coaches go after? Your power. How strong of an arm do you have? That was one of the only things I heard that seemed like they disappointed GMs and coaches before he got drafted, and that was his strong arm. Um, I don't know if that's what separated and that was the straw for most of the coaches. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But that's the only thing that I could say that they saying that maybe he didn't have that they wanted for their style of play. And as you know with Cleveland Browns, they're gonna run the ball, play action.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna have to go down the field with pretty accurate throws down the field for that squad. So
Like, I honestly, I think it's the Jackson Dart thing is what got really pissed folks off. I think, hey, he had Jackson Dart. And I got drafted before Shedeur. It been all right. You know, with Tyler and Jalen, okay. But Jackson Dart, but like, wait a minute. Jackson Dart before Shedeur, like, and the Jets, not the Jets, the Giants was supposed allegedly going to, pick him allegedly because he had the little cleats, little, blue and red cleats for the
right, and they
bowl.
brought him in for a private workout, but
Yeah, so I mean,
most teams did do a private workout for him. So
I think that's what really just tick folks out.
I thought for some reason I heard Sanders they didn't want him going there. Don't know if it's a reliable source. I don't know if they heard it from somewhere reliable, but
yeah,
to the Giants that is. They didn't want Shedeur going to the Giants. One of the many teams are struggling teams.
Yeah.
right. But we'll see. We'll see how everything turns out for Shedeur now that he has got drafted, and as well as the other quarterbacks that got drafted in the 2025 draft. Now, on to question number four. You should get excited. So the question is, what player are you most excited to watch this upcoming season? James, gonna go back to you, followed by Amon, and then Wes and I go last.
For me, it's gonna be Ashton Genty because it'd be the first two-way player. You know what I'm saying? And that's if he even gets to start both ways, or even if he doesn't start, what will he play both ways? So
Now
it's
you,
gonna
you
be
said now you
interesting
said
to see.
Ashton Jennings. Are you talking about Travis Hunter?
Oh yeah, Travis Hunter. My bad. Yeah,
Okay, Jake.
Travis
Yeah,
Hunter.
yeah.
Yeah,
I got you.
Travis
I knew
Hunter.
you were
Oh,
talking
getting
Yeah.
excited. Like, wait a minute, two
Yeah,
ways.
yeah,
What,
yeah.
what?
Travis Hunter. But the thing is, though, because realistically, in the NFL, you put so much energy and effort into the game,
hmm
on one side of the ball. So I can't imagine on two side of the ball. So I don't know what you guys think. If y'all even think there might be a possibility of him playing both ways, but I'm anxious. I'm curious to see, if he actually gonna play both sides of the ball. It'll be the first time, at least since I've been watching NFL football, to see a player play on both sides of the ball. So I'm excited about that to see if that's going to happen. And then, too, another thing is for Shedeur. I'm excited to see him play. Reason being is because you go to the fifth round, you're not expected that to go that deep. He wasn't expecting it. I don't think I was expecting it either, but I want to see if he's going to play good. You play good, you know what I'm saying? You're going to shut a lot of people up to say, hey, you passed me up, here you go. And he may not play great, but good enough to make Cleveland to be a competitor. And I know
Right.
I heard Amon talk about maybe he'll be third string, but who they got? He's gonna be competing with who they pick? It was Milroe, the other quarterback.
So,
Cleveland picked up.
so the team, who they got for the
I'm not.
Cleveland
No, they didn't
Browns,
pick up
you
Milroe.
have Joe Flacco,
They
you
picked up
have Deshaun Watson, who is still on the roster, but he's dealing with a torn Achilles. So they may decide to cut him. We'll see what comes up with that.
Dylan Gabriel. That's the other one.
Yeah, they
Dylan
got Dylan
Gabriel.
Gabriel, and they
Yeah,
also have
Dylan Gabriel.
Kenny Pickett. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like it'll be a good fighting for that spot. Even for the
hmm
first or second string. Between Dylan and him. But check this out though. Like I don't think they're gonna start. Well, I'm not gonna say because they have to compete for it. But I don't think they're gonna start Joe Flacco. He's gonna be competing for it too because Joe Flacco did play and they ended up benching Joe Flacco and went back to who was it? Did they go back to Pickett or I can't remember who they went
Yeah,
to?
Pickett just got there.
Oh
Joe
yeah, Pickett
Flacco
just got
actually
there.
before he went to a different
Richardson.
team. He
Yeah.
actually played okay, but he was
He was a Colts.
Yeah,
yeah,
but no,
he
no,
was
no.
a
But
coach.
he
Yeah,
played for Cleveland. Cleveland
That's
brought him
right.
off the
You're right.
right,
bench,
You're right. You're
and he
right. You're
played
right.
real good
right,
for a good
and
stretch.
that's
Then
what
they
I'm talking about.
benched
He
him.
actually played pretty good. I can't remember who that was that he
Yeah,
was
they
filling in, but
benched him and bought. Oh, it was the other black QB. I see his face, but I can't remember his name.
I'll get
Yeah,
it for you.
yeah. He came and replaced them. So and he's not even there no more. So now what do you do? So if Joe Flacco most likely will not start, and I think they're gonna be competing between Shador and Dylan Gabriel and Deshaun Watson. They gotta let him go, man. This guy stays injured. I think you just make way and just go ahead and go away from this guy. And Pickett still could play now. He's still a good quarterback, so he could be competing for that 1, 2, or 3 as well. But I think it'd be them three in that 1, 2, or 3 slot. And maybe Shedeur could play prove himself and maybe get the 1 or 2. Who knows, right? I'm anxious to see that.
So those guys that played right before Joe Flacco, it was Dorian Thompson Robinson,
Yeah,
PJ
yeah.
Walker.
That's it.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's him. They brought him in because that was their rookie, and they said we think the rookie could play, and they tried to give him a shot towards the end of the season, but he didn't do too well.
Yeah. So Wes, what do you say, man? Who's your most exciting player to watch for this upcoming season?
So I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to tell you it's Will Howard.
Okay.
It's going to be Will
I don't
Howard
think you're crazy on that
of
one.
the
Nope.
Steelers because they have Mason Rudolph and then Skylar Thompson is who their QBs are right now, other than Will Howard. So I think it's going to be Will Howard starting, and I'm excited to see how he is because he's the same size, frame, and player in a sense as Josh Allen. So he's 6'6", 257, and he can use his legs.
Yep.
And he's a national champion. He wins. And I don't know if y'all have watched the Barstool. I think I sent a text out asking y'all if y'all have seen the Gruden Barstool thing. I
Yeah.
was very impressed with him, and I think that it's going to be. I think he has a lot of potential in the league, and he'd be my dark horse too for offensive MVP.
Okay. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I was excited about that West when I seen him go. It's almost like he was forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
Winning the national championship, playing at Kansas State first for a couple of
Mm-hmm.
years, and then going to Ohio State, winning the national championship. A lot of people like they forgot about him. He can also use his legs. Um, I do think it's going to take some development in the NFL, but what player doesn't need some type of development?
Right.
So not unless I get you Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, but
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so he's definitely going to be an exciting player, I believe, at that spot. My guy, I thought he went early, but it wasn't who you think it was. It's not that guy on the screen with Travis Hunter, but it's this guy with the
Carter.
grill
Yeah.
and Abdul Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, when he got picked, and I'm looking at highlights, he reminded me of Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are maybe forgetting that they also have Thibodeau on the other side for the defensive line on the Giants. Man, it's going to be
Yeah.
scary. Should they pair up at the same time, one coming on one end and another coming on another end? If he
Absolutely.
gets after it like he did with Penn State, oh boy.
Yeah.
Uh, Good luck. All those. Hey, well, it's just you better have some offensive tackles in the NFC East.
Yeah.
Blocking these guys because two people coming at you with the speed that they have as pass rush, man, it's gonna be kind of
Mm-hmm.
lights out. So that's the one I'm looking forward to. Just because I love defensive players, I love pass rushers who can actually get after the ball because that's where you're gonna make your money at on third downs in the NFL is passing the
Yep.
quarterback, pass rushing the quarterback.
That's a good one. And he reminds you of Parsons because he's from Penn State and wore number 11, I'm sure.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
helps.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah, both of them, and I think he probably did it in honor of him, but he definitely played up to, and look, both of them went first round, and look
Yeah.
where they're at now. So
Mm-hmm.
they're both actually going against each other in the division, same division,
Exactly.
which
Oh,
is
yeah.
crazy. All right, we'll move on to question number 5 for NFL talk for the night.
You didn't get my response, man. You skipped.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad, man. Let me go back to Amon. I did not get your take. I apologize.
Ahmad felt some kind of way, huh?
Exactly.
Hey, Amon, like, hey, wait.
Oh, no, I'm probably
I
surprised.
apologize. What's your
It's all
most
good,
excited
bro.
player, man, in the draft? Coming
I'm probably shocked. I'm the McMillan kid from Arizona going to Carolina.
Okay, Taylor McMillan. Okay.
Yeah, because I think Bryce Young needs a weapon. He got one. They both from Cali. They went to 2 different high schools, but they both from Cali, know each other well. The guy's a burner. He can fly out the go. And see, in Mobile they play a lot of NFC South games like Saints, Panthers, Tampa Bay. So I get a chance to see him. So I think really that's the one I believe I'm actually more intrigued to seeing just because I know Bryce Young in his career was like this. the last season he started out real well. I mean, not last at the end of the season, they won some games after they benched Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. I mean, McMillan I think is going to be a big help for him. He actually has like a receiver now to go to, and it seems like Carolina going the right direction. So that's what I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing this year.
Yeah, man. I remember watching. I only watched one game of his, but it was I think it was some of the main games I had already played, but it was a late night game. Most of the time, especially in Alabama,
Yeah, that game's late. Yeah,
that game, most of their games out there in Arizona are going to be late games for Central Time people. So,
right,
but I
right,
did
Yeah.
get a chance to watch him, and the game that he was playing against, I forget the team, and it may have been Arizona State. But I mean, he just like went out there and just dominated. Like every time they got him the ball, I think he was averaging almost like 25 yards a catch. He's that type of playmaker. And once he catches it, yards after catch is for a receiver, man. He just takes it to the house. So
yeah.
Yeah.
we'll see if he can continue doing that, man, in the NFL.
Yeah. I watched him when he was in high school off of YouTube where he was doing 360s going between the legs, catching passes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's very gifted, talented, and I did watch the game against Colorado where he absolutely toasted Travis. So
Yes, they did show
uh,
highlights of that
yeah,
in the NFL
he
draft too.
absolutely like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. Toasty.
Yeah, man. So he's yeah, and we'll see. I always look at the fact that when you have receivers like that, especially with Carolina, I'm gonna also be looking to see, are they gonna stick with Bryce Young at quarterback, or are they gonna try to move on? But
Yeah.
that will time will tell with that.
That you would think that with enough number one picks over the course of your
You would
existence
think.
as a franchise,
You would think.
yeah, you'd be freaking up there. By now you'd have caught up and be the team.
Yeah, you would think so, but they keep stacking number ones. All
Yeah.
right.
Well, yeah.
All right, we'll go on to the last question for the NFL talk for the night. Amon, we'll start this one off with you. And the question is, it's a way too early question, but who wins Rookie of the Year, offense and defense?
Offense, I'm gonna go with Travis Hunter, just because he have Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence is gonna like just be dumping that thing to him. Defense, the guy you said Carter. I think Carter gonna be a monster. Actually, I mean, Lawrence Taylor considered like taking his number out retirement to give to this guy. He didn't, but he considered that real strongly. But Carter, Penn State has a great like legacy of linebackers come out of Penn State.
Yeah.
So I think Abdullah Carter is a reason why he was in the top three as far as picks. And usually at Penn State, linebackers are pretty much great on the next level. So I think he's gonna keep that thing going. So I think Hunter as far as offense, Carter on defense.
All right. Wes, what do you say, man?
Yeah, I agree. I think Hunter is going to be I think they're going to line him up a lot in the slot. I think he's going to be probably my man Lawrence's favorite option out there for a while. So between him and Brian Thomas, I think it's going to be pretty scary for sure. I'd love to see how they what all they do with him. And for defense, I'm going with Jalen Walker, my man. I think Jalen Walker is going to just edge out Carter for Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay. All right. James, who do you have as your offensive rookie of the year and your defense rookie?
My defense rookie of the year, I got Abdul Carter with the Giants because I'm telling you, that's one position that's always a dangerous position. When you got a powerful guy who knows how to play that position, man, they finna get around. You need a serious offensive, attack lineman to really slow you down on that edge. And it's hard. You don't have a lot of teams with great ones. So I'm looking for him to be defensive player of the year. And also, well, defensive rookie of the year. And for offense, I was looking at Travis Hunter too, but I'm gonna say it like this. I'm thinking if Travis Hunter play both sides of the ball, I'm thinking most likely he probably get it because now you're, double the load, right? You put in offensive number and defensive numbers, and that
Hmm.
all looks great when you put it together, But I'm looking at, Ashton Genty from the Raiders running back too, because guess what? They never had a running game, right? Man, these guys, man, they surprise me how bad their running game is. These, because look, so I'm thinking they're gonna probably feed this guy because they ain't got nobody else. And he's probably gonna rack up 700, 800 yards as a rookie, which is pretty impressive. Might even be a little bit more than that. Might even be 800 yards, and probably put him in the conversation for offensive rookie of the year. But those are the two offensive rookie guys I'm looking at. But Travis Hunter get the edge if he plays defense, I think.
I mean,
All right.
Pete Carroll loves running backs too. Let me add that. So it's a good possibility he will get like a thousand
True.
yards.
That's true. Um, for mine, I'm gonna go back to this guy here. It takes a lot out of me for a Florida State fan to give it to a Miami Hurricanes person. But I watched enough of his games, and he torched us as well as he torched the rest of the whole ACC. Um, and he could have did a lot more torching in the in his last game, but they took him out of half. He was like, "I'm not getting injured. Uh, Go ahead and put the other guy in." And so, me personally, that's the guy I believe is going to be the offensive rookie of the year, and it's coming out of the AFC South. That's who I got.
Hey, I don't
But
disagree with you, right? But this is the two things I look at because I had, had his name down too as a possibility. But the
Mhm.
problem is he's with the Titans. Titans picked him up overall number one. Remember what the Titans' record was last year? If you off the top of your head, do you remember?
yeah, it was pretty bad. It's probably like
Yeah,
2 and
three
14.
and three and 14. That's how bad it was. And they're not doing nothing in Tennessee. So you go to a bad team, man, you ain't got no line, you're going down a
I
lot of
mean,
time. You're gonna be doing a lot of scrambling, running out the
yeah,
pocket, and you
right.
ain't got great receivers to be getting the ball to anyway. So I figure because he's a quarterback, he's gonna put up some numbers, whatever. But look at a lot of quarterback who put up decent numbers. They ain't getting rookie of the year because you struggling anyway, because you're throwing, 15 to 20 interceptions, getting sacked 100 times. I'm inflating that number. But
Right.
you know what I'm
And the
saying.
reason why I'm looking at it from that perspective, though, is because I mean and just to go back to the short future or past that we just had. So you just had Jaden Daniels, as good as he was. Now, granted, he did have a better offensive line going in with more weapons with TJ McLaurin, McLaurin there, Terry McLaurin, and running backs Eckler, and so on
Yep.
and so on.
And
And then
Robinson.
you also had Ian Robinson, and then you also had CJ Stroud, and that was before he got, you know, the guys they just had, which I know Diggs is gone already, but I mean, CJ Stroud just happened to go in there at the right time. He had the right coordinator.
Yeah.
And his coordinator actually, got a better job somewhere else. So it's kind of crazy how that worked out. But
Oh,
I'm just
oh,
expecting because of what the his tools that he brings, it's something that he's gonna have better decision making that he the last actual couple, yeah, probably two or three quarterbacks didn't have. And that's
Mhm.
where I'm looking at for Ward. I think he's just gonna make a difference on that way. We'll see.
Yeah, it's
We
a
don't
good
know
pick.
yet. We'll
It's a good
see.
pick
We'll
because I
see.
had him on. I had him on my radar too, but I just know how bad
Yeah.
of a team he's going to.
is
But
it?
yeah, we'll see.
My thing is, like okay, like the Titans as far as quarterbacks, Vince Young, Marcus Mariota, Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis. It's like, and that's me not thinking too hard about it. Like they've had great quarterbacks, like really good quarterbacks, but they just like James said, like the receivers aren't there. It's like they always been something. Either have the receivers and no running game, or they have no running game and receiving. It's just like I don't know, just maybe the ownership. I don't really know, but I
And
mean,
it, and it could be I think a lot of that is, like I said, I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago. It's all about the continuity that you have
yeah,
from the GM and the head coach. If you're not going to pair them together where they're working hand in hand, if the GM is blending with what the head coach's scheme is, it's going to work fine. But if they're both going separate ways, the coach wants a defensive type of team, but the GM is like, no, I want to pick offense. You're going to be all over the place.
yeah.
So it just depends on how they are and how they pair up in the next couple of years. But As far as defense, man, everybody's pretty much on the same page. It's
Yeah.
that guy, Abdul Carter. It's not even close for me. It's him. He's the one I'm looking most forward to on defense, and I think he's going to be my defensive rookie of the year for the NFL. We'll see how that turns out. And before we go, we'll get into some quick hits because we've actually had some, even though we've had NFL talk going on, we've had some crazy games today. And I'm saying that because of my Lakers
Mm.
actually whiffed and we lost. So right now, let me just give you a rundown of the Western Conference. You know, everybody knows OKC now is 4-0. They're just awaiting the winner of the Nuggets and the Clippers, who are tied 2-2. So I'm just going to do quick hits. Who are you guys picking to win this coming up on the 29th for the Nuggets Clippers? I'm going to start with I'll start with Wes and then I'll make my way back across. So Wes, who are you picking? Nuggets or Clippers?
Clippers.
All right. Amon, Nuggets or Clippers?
Clippers.
James, Nuggets or Clippers?
I don't want to let my Nuggets down. They're not my team. They're not my team. But I always just think they're so good, man, and they always gonna come out on top. This is tough. I think I might say Clippers because they look like they struggling against the Clippers. I'll say Clippers.
I'm actually gonna be the one out. I got Nuggets the next game. I just feel like I know Jokic and stuff been going off. I feel this is gonna probably be Murray's game to go off. So I'll be the one to take the Nuggets in that game.
You remember what I
Um,
said, right? I always said sometimes Murray just lets his team down. He doesn't show up
yeah,
in the playoffs.
if he's
He
not
showed up.
on, it's not
Yeah,
gonna be good.
he
If they're
showed
not
up the
playing
year they
Lakers,
won. The year
Murray
they
been
won, he
balling.
showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we let's talk about that game. So the Lakers are now down 3-1 against the Timberwolves. We'll start from that way with you, James, and then we'll work our way back. James, who you got? Lakers or Timberwolves in the next game?
I want to say I don't. I feel like Lakers can't lose 4-1, man. I feel like they're gonna take one more. So I
Okay.
say Lakers. I'll say Lakers.
All right, Mott.
Lakers, man. Come on.
All right, Wes, who you got? Lakers or Timberwolves?
Timberwolves.
Same here. I got Timberwolves closing us out. It's I've seen enough. And Anthony Edwards is that guy. Like I said, I saw enough of LeBron in that game. So yeah, yeah. And not saying that LeBron didn't play well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
tired, man. He's tired. He's just tired. Next game. They play tomorrow. Rockets at the Warriors. Game 4. Who you got, Wes?
Rockets.
Amon.
Warriors.
James.
Rockets.
I got the Warriors. All right. Now see them going up 3-1. All right. Out of the East, we have the Cavaliers got a chance to close out tomorrow the Heat. James, who wins?
Oh, Cleveland sweeping 4-0, baby. They're bringing them broomsticks.
Amon, who wins?
Chaos.
Wes, who wins?
Cavs.
I think it's a clean sweep for all of us. Cavs winning that, taking that out the way. Um, this game is later on tonight, and they should be playing it shortly. Pacers Bucks tonight. Wes, who you got?
Give me the Bucks.
Amon, who you got?
Give me Pacers.
James.
I got Bucks.
All right, and I have the Pacers winning. All right. And the last one we will pick. Currently we have the Celtics and Magic playing right now, so we're not going to pick that one. But the New York Knicks lead in this series 3-1, and they play on looks like Tuesday. Who do you got, James? Knicks or Pistons?
Man, we up 3-1. I wrote down on paper, I put Detroit, but I'm finna change it up. Knicks closing it out,
All
man. 4-1. Because
right,
Detroit ain't
you got the
looking too
Knicks.
good right now.
All right, Mon, who you got? Knicks or Pistons?
Knicks.
Wes, who you got?
Knickerbockers.
I'm gonna give the Pistons one more game, and that's gonna be their last game they win. And I got the Pistons in the next game.
Since hey, I wrote it on paper, since I flipped one, I wrote Nuggets win. So flip mine to Nuggets because I wrote it on paper. Nuggets win.
We shall see. Hey man, it's been awesome for the show today. If you like us, please subscribe to us. Tell us how you liking the show. Continue to connect with us. Until the next time, y'all be blessed and have a great week, everyone.
All right, fellas, level up.
All right, level up.